Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Road Dog Coffee Podcast with your host, Spencer Squire, CEO, founder of Road Dog Coffee Company, and myself, Mr. Pedro Potato from the Logistics Lounge. We're just gonna have a good time here. We apologize that we're late, had some technical difficulties. First show. That's the way it always goes. But y'all just sit back, relax. We'll be back in a minute after this intro video, and we'll get things rolling. Welcome to the Road Dog Coffee Podcast. Spencer, good morning, my brother. Good morning. Morning, Steven. How you doing, man? Hope everything's going good. If you're free and you want a link, let me know. We'll shoot you one. You come and hop in and chill this for a half an hour. All right, Spencer. What's up, man? How's the morning going? How was the walk with the dogs?
It was good. A little bit chilly here this morning, but we got through it, and then we had all those great technical difficulties. And I want to apologize to all the folks watching that just trying to watch it on YouTube. That's kind of the hang up, is some goofy stuff going on there. But we'll kind of dismiss YouTube this time, and we'll upload the video after this show so people can watch it there. So excited. First day, man. First day, episode 1.
I know. I'm excited too, brother. You've been talking about doing a podcast for a while, and we've been talking about trying to do something together for probably just as long. So it's good for it to finally happen, come to fruition, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's something I've been thinking about for over a year now that I'd love to do, and it's just another layer in the with the company to for people to entertain them through podcast and mindless banter and have a good cup of coffee.
Well, I mean, you got the perfect brand for it, for a podcast, and so I'm glad we can do this together, man. I'm really excited. Things are only going to get better. We'll get all the technical difficulties worked out. We were both procrastinating, Stephen. In Spencer's defense, we were both procrastinating. In all honesty, I think Spencer and I were supposed to start this show like a month ago, and then he kept getting things in the way on Thursday, and I kept getting things in the way. We kept pushing it back. So it's been about a year and a month, like he said. There you go.
Hey, well, listen. It's just like coming up with a great roast for coffee, right? You've got to go through, all the testing of roasting coffee beans until you kind of dial it in. So it's kind of the same thing with this. We're kind of dialing things in, and we're finding our sweet spot, and we'll have a good road, good smooth sailing ahead.
No, we are, man. It's going to get better and better every single show. But what we want to do this first one, Spencer, is kind of just introduce what people can expect here. Tell them about yourself and Road Dog, and again, what everyone can be expecting from the show. Some ideas that you got. So go ahead and tell everyone who you are, Spencer, and tell us about RDCC.
Yeah, so started launched last year in 2024, as most people do know. I spent over 25 years in trucking, had a trucking company, got rid of that in 21. Sometimes I have regrets doing that because I really miss the industry, as far as that level of it. So, sold it in 21 and was trying to think of what I wanted to do next. I've always been a huge coffee nut. Love coffee. I actually roast coffee here at home on a little sample roaster sometimes, just kind of toying around with things, like a mad chemist, So, I had this wild, crazy idea that for some reason, coffee and trucking just go hand in hand, and I was like, I'm going to launch it. I got to launch Road Dog Coffee Company, and the name. I was actually asked by a guy the other day. Uh, well, where did you come up with the name Road Dog Coffee? Well, it kind of goes back to, you heard the old saying, I've been running like a dog, right? Just been running around like a dog or whatever. So, drivers, they run the highways, they run like dogs, So, hey, what a better name than that, Road Dog Coffee Company, for America's first coffee company that showcase and give back to the trucking industry, and to bring awareness to the general public on the importance of our truckers and what they mean to the economy. And uh, you know without them, hell, we wouldn't have anything, right? So it's common sense. But yeah, so got a lot of great things in the works. We'll be at the Mayberry Truck Show this weekend, hanging out with Redneck Trucker and his cronies. Looking forward to that. Getting ready. Actually, we're getting ready to launch before long. We're in the process of working on it. We're going to be doing Smokey and the Bandit coming out.
What blend is that going to be? Medium or roast, medium, dark? What?
It'll be a dark roast with
nice.
a dark roast smoky flavor. And we're in the process of also launching Road Dog Cigar Company. Again, same concept. The bands on the cigars will look like the from the bags. Just another layer, man, to keep trucking in the eyes of the general public, keep pushing the narrative and the mission.
Yeah, I don't know. I applaud it, man. I love it. We've loved your brand ever since we crap. Sorry, ever since we met you. I don't even know how we got introduced, man. I don't know if we just found each other online or someone introduced us. I have no clue. But
I think I saw you. I think I linked up with you on Tinder.
Maybe that's what it was. It was Tinder. We were each other's Tinder dates. That's right. Yeah. You're right. Oh man, and we were talking last night, man, when we were trying to figure all this stuff out. That and I even said it on the show. I was like, yeah, man. It's like, we've been talking to Spencer for like 2 years, and you last night, like, no, man. It's like, I don't think I've known you 2 years. Like, it feels like I said last night, feels like we have known each other so long, and it's only been since April of last year.
Yeah.
Like absolutely crazy, man. And I don't know, dude, I guess we just hit it off, man. And we've done a lot of stuff together, brother. And I'm finally glad to see this thing come together. And I'm glad to see Road Dog growing. I mean, when we first met, and then you just had the 4 OG bags or 3 OG bags of coffee, and you had some pods, and you had a couple of some apparel and stuff, And since then, you've had a bunch of one-run bags, for special causes. You got linked up with Rees Across America, which is absolutely friggin' amazing. And you've done all kinds of things to grow the brand. The cigar company coming out with some new roast. Dude, I love watching it, man. Love seeing my homies succeed, Spencer, and being your friend and get to hear about it from you personally, man. It's been a fun road to travel with you, man. Just kind of standing off in the background.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. Well, I mean, my hat's off to you and Hunter for allowing me to do this on your platform. I know we've talked about it, like you said, a long time, and I mean, hell, I couldn't think of a better place to be parked than with you guys, because chemistry's there. We're all three crazy as hell, right? So we're all, we're very unpredictable. So I mean, I'm excited to see where we take this thing.
I am too, man. And
maybe I could be the next Joe Rogan of coffee. How about that?
There you go. But hey, I'm all for it, brother. I'm all for it. Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate it. Jeff said, good or morning, gents. Good luck with your podcast, Spencer. And I said, you're in excellent hands with Hunter and I. I wouldn't go that far, bro. I wouldn't go that far. You never know. This all could be a ploy to destroy Road Dog Coffee Company as a brand from the inside. You never know.
I am a good shot. I mean, I did grow up and was raised with my stepdad was special forces. So I was actually going to go into special forces as a sniper. So just be careful.
I'm glad I live too far from you, man. I ain't got to worry about that, dude. Man, this is I know, man. I love you too, Spencer, man. This all of this stuff that we're doing is It's incredible, man. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying just hanging out with you all the time and doing more of these shows together like this and events. Sucks that we can't go to Mayberry this weekend. We were going to, but I don't know. Hunter and I, we did not. How can I say this? We did not plan accordingly for all the shows that we were going to go to this year, man. And dude, we are just about tapped out. We were going to go to Mayberry, but we decided not to. So I'm going to something next weekend. And then we have Star Stripes and White Lines. So
Right.
sorry, I
Yeah.
wish we could be at Mayberry with you, but at least you'll be there with Steven. Steven will keep you freaking busy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he always keeps me on my toes when I'm around him. No doubt about that. Uh, talking about the road, the podcast. I was asked the other day also. Who asked me that? Yeah, it was my neighbor. What's it going to be about? And well, if you look at the tagline under at Road Dog Coffee Podcast on YouTube, and I want everybody to go to the channel there and subscribe to it. It says caffeine, trucking, and everything else, right? Anything goes. So it's not going to be one of these podcasts, and you and I have talked about this, about, trucking laws coming out and what the government's doing with, all the CDL, illegal CDL holders and rounding everybody up. We'll touch on stuff like that, but there's enough platforms for people can go and find that information. They don't need to hear it from me. This is just, we're talking trucking, we're talking, caffeine, coffee, anything. Hell, we may end up talking politics. We may be, who knows? It's just a wide open show. Just kind of kick back with coffee and enjoy the ride.
I agree, man. Speaking of coffee, what are you drinking, Spencer?
Dark roast in the morning, right? This is actually Black Dog.
Ooh, nice, man. Nice.
Mhm.
I'm waiting on my order. I ordered while I was on the thing with you last night. But I go to my backup, dude. My backup dark roast is Cafe Bustelo.
Oh yeah,
That's what I got here, man. I think
that's a really good coffee. I've had it multiple times. I mean, I like Cafe Bustelo. I'm not gonna snub my nose up at it. It is really good coffee. They do a good job there.
It is, and it is good coffee. It's I don't know. It's the best dark roast out there besides the Black Dog. Like,
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like, it really is. That's why I say it's my backup, man. And I gotta get one of those cups from you, bro. Do you have those on the website yet?
So no, not yet. So we've got the campfire cups on the website. It's just got the medallion on it, but now I've got the medallion with the see there.
Oh, that is cool. What is that? The molecular structure of a coffee bean or something?
Of caffeine, yeah.
Ooh, that is so cool.
I've actually got it on T-shirts. I had some made for myself, and we're going to put them out there. It basically has that printed on the back of it.
Oh,
and,
nice.
On the front of it, it says "Stay caffeinated." I've got one I'm going to launch that says "Drink responsibly," and on the back it says it's rounded, drink Red Dog Coffee Company. So got some new products coming out. You're kind of in that testing phase where you're seeing what looks kind of cool. You get it made, you get it brought in. It looks kind of cool, and I'd like to launch that. And so and that's the thing about this business. It's ever evolving. You're always making changes. Taking stuff away, adding stuff. It's fun. Stressful at times, but it's fun.
It is very stressful. In the guest we had on the lounge last night, Erin, she's an entrepreneur, she does all kinds of things, coaching, business coaching, and motivational coaching, so forth, so on. But she was had talked a lot about what you were saying just now, that it's a bunch of try again. You just here's the idea, you go with it, you see if this works. Does this help me, does it not help me, what were the results from this? And you're always evolving, always trying to expand yourself and your business and grow it. And I've seen it, man. I've seen you doing that over the time that we've known each other. Like I said, I've watched how you've went from a few things to the many things that you're doing now. And same thing with Hunter and I. we're trying to do the same thing. And it's everything that we do now is, we just talked about this at the Carrier Revenue Summit a few weeks ago. The things that we do now is completely different from the way we started. When we started things, we're like, yeah, we like it this way, and we like our branding this way, and so forth, so on. You just keep changing things. It's sometimes kind of, it literally is just throwing darts at the board, seeing what sticks. How many points you get with it, and then taking that, evolving it, fixing a little bit, and making it into something new that makes it better. So,
Right, right. Yeah, and when you're in business, you're always thinking of, what can I do next, or how can I expand this, grow the business. It's it's fun, but like you said, it's stressful. Um, and something I heard yesterday, was watching another podcast, and the comment was made, called, the guy that was watching made a comment, analysis by paralysis. Um, and, you know, a lot of people, I think, in business will tend to overthink things that creates that paralysis, right? That overanalyze and, I've always kind of been that guy that lead with your heart and your gut. Um, and it's gotten me into some trouble in the past, but you work through it, and you just kind of work through it and come out on the other side of it, a winner.
well, I think you're a winner, Spencer.
Oh, I think you are too.
Oh man, dude. So when are you leaving for Mayberry?
Tomorrow is setup day,
Yeah.
in the morning. It's only 45 minutes away from my
Oh,
house.
holy shit!
Yeah,
Dang, that's pretty dang close.
yeah. It's a great show. We were there last year and it was pretty successful. I think it's so when we were there last year, it was um I forgot the date, but it was the same day that Hurricane Helene started coming into North Carolina.
Oh, was it?
It was, and when we got there, the first thing, because it started to rain a little bit, it never really just poured down rain in Mount Airy. Um, some of the heavier rains already came through the day before and that morning. But first thing they said was don't put any tents up. We've got these very expensive trucks out here with chrome and hundreds of thousands of dollars and equipment out here, and so they didn't want somebody's tent to get caught in the wind and get blown away and hit a truck. But yeah, so that was a very interesting day, and then to find out what happened here in North Carolina with Helene, because nobody at the show really knew the impact of the hurricane when it came in, when it hit Asheville.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause that hadn't really taken place yet, but all the flooding and the deaths, the devastation. But yeah, so it's going to be a very sombering day tomorrow, to just know that, hey, a year ago today we were setting up and this massive destructive hurricane was coming in. So yeah, it's going to be a moment, and then we'll set up. Opens up to the public at 12, and then Saturday it opens up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I guess, yeah, 8 o'clock for the public, and Tony, Saturday night. Tony is performing.
Ooh, nice.
Saturday night, Tony Justice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like Tony, man. I like listening to.
He's
I
good.
like watching him.
He's a good guy.
He is, man. Tony is. He's a real good guy.
Yeah.
He's a hoot too, man. He really is. You get that guy, you get him, just you and him talking, and You just can't get him to be quiet, just like you can't get me to be quiet. So it works out for the both of us, man. That was good. Actually, I got to spend a little bit of time with him one on one for the first time, actually, ever one on one when we were at Old Town Rig Down a few weeks ago. And dude, just chilling at his trailer, man. The end of the night, we were talking, going over, like looking at all his new apparel and everything, and just him talking about all the stuff he's got going on and so
Yeah.
forth, so on. He's a good guy, man. I like Tony, man. That's
Yeah.
honestly, I have met very few people in this industry that I'm like, I don't really know if I want to be around you very much. Mostly everybody's pretty damn straightforward, dude. And I like that. Most folks are direct. They are who they are. They don't hide a lot of stuff. I mean, there are a few, just like there are just period in the world, but everyone here helps each other, man. And I like that. These, the events, all the shows, whether it's a truck show or you're going to, convention stuff, it's, everyone's always so welcoming, and I've never been turned away, never had someone be mean or, well, I don't know. We had one person at Matt's be mean or rude to us at an event, after event, but that's neither here nor there. So other than that, it's fantastic. Everyone here, everyone in this industry is amazing.
Yeah, you're right. It's a pretty big industry, but it's also a very small industry,
It
very
is,
very
man.
tight knit, and it's amazing the people that you run into that knows somebody and it just kind of carries on. But yeah. I mean, I think that overall, there's a lot of great people in the industry, a lot of great drivers out there. Um, you know, yeah, it's a great industry. It really is.
Yeah.
I actually miss sometimes uh, interacting with the drivers. So when in the early days of Allstate Express, whenever I was doing like the a lot of the recruiting and orientation type stuff, um, I would always. I mean, I really enjoyed talking with them and just kind of hearing their stories, their gripes of the previous company, what they didn't like, and I'd even welcome them. When they would come on when they would come on Allstate Express, I'd even have them come in. Hey, let's go to lunch whenever you're in town. Tell me what's you know screwed up here at Allstate Express or whatever. Yeah, just you got to get that feedback because you've got your operations folks, you got your sales folks, but if you really, when it gets down to it, your drivers are the face of the company, right? They are truly your front line. They're the ones out there taking the bullets, and they're like an extension of the sales force. So, I think that drivers, their voices definitely should be heard a lot more. And there's a lot of good people out there within that community. So yeah, it's a great industry. It is.
1,000%. And you're just talking about the drivers being, face your company, extension your company.
And there's some pain in the ass ones out there too. I will tell you that.
There are.
There are some pain in the ass ones out there too, but you
Yeah,
gotta love them.
there are, and the pain in the ass ones, it could go either way. Sometimes those are the best ones. Like me, I was a pain in the ass driver, but I was a great driver. I was only a pain in the ass just because I wanted you to leave me alone and just let me do the job that you hired me to do. But there are some ones that are just difficult just for being difficult sake.
Well, let me ask you this. So what got you into trucking? Like what was that, that moment in life that said, hey, this is what I want to do?
Man, honestly, it was it was just the easy transition from the military. I never in a million years, thought that I would drive a truck. Even when I joined the military, my whole goal when I joined the military was to go something in the medical field. I was whatever, something in the medical field. And only reason I became a truck driver in the Army in '88 Mike was when I joined. It was at the height of the war, and the drivers, anyone that drove a truck, were the people getting blown up overseas. So they had the maxed out bonus at that time. It was $40,000. Dude, I was a 22-year-old father of 3, newly married, and they're like, man, we'll give you 40 grand. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, that is literally life-changing money to me in 2006. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's, yeah. So, dude, did that, and I was going to be in the military forever. I loved it, man. Had a whole plan of what I was going to do with my 20 years, and I got hurt. And when I got out, I was looking for a job, and trucking was, even though it was at the height of the recession. Funny enough, man, like the big companies were hiring like crazy, and that was 2008 when I got out. And
Right.
dude, it was just easy. It was easy for me to get my CDL and become a truck driver. And I don't mean that in the sense that I did it because it was easy. It was easy for me because again, in the height of the war, veterans could have whatever they wanted. Like it just was. I mean, if you wanted a job and could get in there and have the requirements, the minimum requirements, they would fucking hire you as long as you were a veteran. So I went and got my CDL on my own, took the test on my own. I rented a truck in Dallas, and the guy who I rented the truck from taught me how to drive it with the long trailer, because in the Army the trailers are shorter, and I passed the test on my own. And so, and that's it, man. Completely by accident, to be honest with you. Got out of
Yeah.
the Army, had this skill, and I was like, shit, like how do I put this skill to use? And so that's what I did. And I tried following the same trajectory in the civilian world as I was going to take in the Army. You know, in the Army, I started out as an 88 Mike, and I
Hmm.
wanted to become what's called an 88 November, which is a transportation movement officer. It's essentially a transportation manager in the military. So
Right.
when I got out, I'd set the same course for myself. Said, hey, I'll get my CDL, I'll drive for a few years, and I'll put myself through school and see how far I can go in logistics. And I mean, I did that.
Hmm.
Graduated, got my degree. I was a transportation supervisor and a logistics operations manager, and I really just didn't honestly. I didn't much like that side because it was, I don't know, it was just a back and forth between me and the drivers. It was really difficult. It was really hard trying not to think like a driver and
Right.
think like a person that's trying to make the company profitable, and whatever, whatever. And the money fucking sucked, bro. I took like a $20,000 a year pay cut to get out of the truck.
Wow.
So, dude, I dealt with that for like 3 years, and then I went back to the truck because I was like, dude, this is ridiculous, man. So I'm making less money, and I'm working more hours. Every day was a 12 to 16 hour day, 6 days a week, just like being in a truck. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're in the office, but dude, it sucked, and it sucked so bad. I
Yeah.
did not like it.
You know, talking about the medical field, you were kind of leaning towards that you wanted to take that path. That's actually how Allstate Express got started, was actually by accident, because my history prior to that was from telecommunications. I worked for the phone company. Back then it was, Southern Bell, and we did the PBX phone systems like that your office has, the running fiber optics, all that good stuff. But anyway, um, I started out by accident as a medical courier. I was driving a Geo Prism at the time. That was a really cool chick car, right?
Dude, that is so cool.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I was picking up a lot of chicks. No, I was actually dating a girl who actually became my wife. But we're divorced now, unfortunately. But but her office, she was worked in that industry, in the medical industry, in private home healthcare, and they were using a courier company. I was actually washing vans on the weekend for extra money. Yeah. And she came out back in a panic and was asking if I had time to go make a couple of deliveries for her. They had a couple of new patients coming on the line. One was from Duke Hospital, and I forgot what the other one. So I said, sure. I just finished up what I was doing and went and knocked them out. And it was kind of just, I started doing stuff for those guys in the evenings. And then it just kind of migrated into what eventually became, it actually started out as Tried Medical Courier Services, Allstate Delivery, and then became Allstate Express. And then we kind of migrated early 2000s, getting away from medical courier and going into the expedite transportation, because that's kind of what our core business was. We were an expediter, uh, bringing just in time inventory into the plants for automotive and other folks. So yeah, it's funny.
Well,
You just kind of fell into it. I kind of fell into it, and I think a lot of people just fall into it,
Yep.
you know. Uh, you've got generational drivers out there and generational folks that inherit their companies from family, Um, but I think sometimes I think there's a lot of people out there that just have fallen into it by
Dude,
accident.
even I think even the generational stuff. We Spencer, almost everyone we've talked to on the lounge, and we always ask people what their story is, and almost, I mean, probably 99% of people fall into by accident. I mean, a great example of generational stuff. Lee Meyer with Iowa 80. So her
Mhm.
family, her grandfather started the Iowa 80. She went to college for like marketing, like went away from the business, was working somewhere else, had a job for a few years, thought that was a path she was going to take, and then she ended up coming and working at the family business. Like it just came back that way. So like I feel
Yeah.
even people that are born into it, man, most of them try to do something away. The military, funny thing, my entire family is military, bro. I mean, everyone, the generation before me, they all served high ranking NCOs, officers, all that stuff. I grew up near a military base. I grew up like just like I will never go in the fucking military. I will never do it. There's no way. It's impossible. And I did. I tried all these things for years to not go in the military and ended up right into the military. So it's
Oh
I
yeah.
think that's why a lot of truck drivers are ex veterans too. You know what I mean? It's you get that same sort of how can I say it, camaraderie, or at least in the back old days you did. But a lot of us like to be have that solidarity and that time by ourselves. And trucking's very regimented. It's very scheduled. Time
Right.
based. Is basically every load is a mission, and you have to lay out to get to make that mission success. So and
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot at stake. I mean, just like what the stuff that we did, right? We would take. I remember one time we actually had to. We were picking up a load of engines from Cummins Diesel, and they had to go to uh, their plant in Indiana, I believe it was, and we had a driver. It was a new driver that came on board with us. Actually unplugged the Qualcomm. We got his last ping. Decided he wanted to go to sleep. Had plenty of hours to make the run. Decided he wanted to go to sleep, and it was his first run too. And you know that was shutdown free. That those engines had to be there. There was I mean, that was you know top mission. It was a huge shipment. We ended up having to take when we finally found the guy asleep. We had another driver go recover the load. They unhooked trailers and stuff, and had to go to Knoxville, Tennessee. We had to pay like 40 grand to charter those things on a freaking plane
God
in
dang.
India, and we had to write a check for that. Yeah, it's you know, but yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, the transition from military into the private sector of trucking uh, kind of makes sense because everything is on a schedule in trucking. Everything's got a time that's got to, things have to happen, in sequence. It's just like the military. Everything has to happen in sequence, right? Or there a whole lot of bad shit happens. Um, but that's why I think our veterans make great truck drivers, and then even guys that are even men and women who are not veterans make great truck drivers too. I'm not going to discount those folks by any means, uh, but I think as far as you get a lot of good discipline coming in from military because I kind of I've already been through all that, so there's nothing new that they can expect from coming into the trucking industry. They've already got the discipline there.
I I'm with you on that last part. It's a discipline. Trucking is a very disciplined job. It really is. And it's all because of the time, constraints and stuff like that. And you have to
Yeah,
have to be on your toes, man.
huge. That's right.
Yep. Gotta
That's
get
right.
things done when you get when you're supposed to have them done, and make no mistakes,
Yeah.
because a lot of things depend on that shipment on your truck getting there on time. Spencer,
Right.
we're at 34 minutes
34
here, man.
minutes. I know
Yeah,
we
dude.
kind of ran over. It's great. They're great.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then looking forward to next Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern time in the morning. And, if people go to at Road Dog Coffee Podcast on YouTube, go and subscribe. And by next week, we will have our shit together and it will be streaming live. It's not us. This was a YouTube issue.
It is a YouTube issue. It is.
This was a YouTube. If you're listening, let's get this worked out here. But yeah. So, and we're going to upload this to the YouTube channel, or you can go to the Logistics Lounge platform if that's what you're used to, going to. You can catch it there live, and go to roaddogcoffee.com, grab some coffee, support the industry. Pedro is streaming the Founder 30% off your order. And they have a code also, which is what, Pedro? What's your code?
Lounge 15.
That's right. That's on future orders. Once you blow through the Founder 30, or if you go to, you get 20% off your first order, which obviously, we want people to subscribe and all that and be part of the family. But then, on your next order, after you love the coffee, because we know you will, use Lounge 15 and support those guys.
The Founder 30 was only for today's show. That was it. So, and then, but yeah, go on there, make sure you subscribe to the coffee, service. A lot of people have that. That is freaking amazing. If you know exactly how much coffee you go through, you can set up a subscription, and Spencer will just automatically send you coffee every single month.
That's right. That's right. As much as you want,
dude. I can't wait to next Thursday, man. This is a good run here, and I will immediately upload this episode to the Road Dog Coffee podcast channel on YouTube. Like Spencer said, make sure y'all do go and subscribe there. We're running on multiple channels, but we want everyone to really be watching from the Road Dog Coffee podcast channel as much as possible. And so, yeah, you got anything else you want to say, Spencer, before we get out of here and get to our dang work day here?
Be safe, driver. Just be safe out on the highways. If we have any of our drivers listening out there, just be safe and keep your head on a swivel. There's a lot of bad shit out there these days. It looks like.
You're right, brother. There is. There's a lot of bad shit out there.
Yeah.
But hey, just to touch off what Spencer said, keep the shiny side up. Keep it between the mustard and the mayo. Mr. Spencer and I, we will see y'all back here next Thursday. And hope everyone has a great rest of their week and a wonderful weekend when you get to it.
Yeah.
As I always say, chunk them deuces.
And stay caffeinated.
Stay caffeinated. There.